Hopefully. Hopefully it'll be better.
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards.
Hope we get more calls from your work.
So yes, it began with a dream.
My manager calls me, hey, can you come in?
Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I'd seen the hitchhiker too late.
Oh. I forgot it was a sliding door. That probably doesn't help much, but that's okay.
I mean, it blocks out a good amount.
It makes me feel
He was
better
dead.
with the door closed.
I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again.
Like, move this. Okay.
Suddenly, his body was gone.
A body has been discovered.
I was in shock from the crash. I could hardly stand my feet.
Gotta look into. No.
Invert.
No, please.
Well, you've never played Tony Hawk with inverted controls before.
Who does that?
I think it's like some of the games, like I remember playing like Thug 1 a lot. Like I played that game a ton.
I had to go
Oh,
to the
that one was,
lighthouse.
like, the best.
I knew there was something
And I'm
important
pretty
waiting
sure,
for me
like,
there.
It starts out and they're both like inverted or non-inverted, but one of them is inverted. But
The
it says
bridge had
it's-
collapsed.
so you have to,
I'd
like,
have to find
invert,
another
invert,
way to the
invert,
lighthouse.
Oh. Also, I like it when they go, are you goofy or regular? And I'm like, does it matter in a video game?
Or a cool tip from PSP.
I saw that
Wait, oh,
video.
you saw that one? Oh.
Where
That's like
if you bullshit.
You don't even recognize me, do you, Ryder? You think you're
a
God?
Black Shadow Man. Your
You
oldest
just
friend.
make up stuff. Play with people's wives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama.
No, that's not how it works. I can't just
You're in this story now, and I'll make you suffer.
I'm pretty sure that one takes
jump over that.
That was so good.
You missed your deadline!
Technology was invented.
Damn.
You just kind of jump over.
So see, it's
You can't stop me!
that
Did it?
counted.
I
Oh,
think you
now.
just do it like right as he's about to. There you go.
Oh,
Bullet time.
I realized that the hitchhiker was a character from the story I'd been working on.
the hitchhiker is a character.
How does it feel to die by the hands of your own creation?
Oh no! I forgot about that.
Stop! No! Damn it, die! No! No! No!
He's dead.
I was trapped. There was no way out.
Now I remember when you were talking about
The cabin was a death trap. I had to get out.
Follow the light.
True.
It's so weird that it's like a concussion effect in like Call of Duty.
Oh,
You
I
were
tried
hurt.
to walk into
You
light.
should go into the light.
Yeah,
You are only safe there.
He's talking to you.
I forgot. Light heals you.
Well done. I have something important to tell you. It goes like this. For he did not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green, where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been. To its ports I've been. Do you understand?
No.
Follow my light.
No, Jesus, I do not understand your...
I entered your
Also,
dream
that's
to
your
teach
first
you.
response
The
when
darkness
light
is dangerous. It's sleeping now. When it feels you coming, it will wake up. There's no time. I can only show you the most important thing. The hitchhiker has been taken over by the dark presence. You can't hurt him now. The darkness protects him from all harm. Only light can drive the darkness away and make him vulnerable again.
Thank you, Jesus. Give me
Here,
a
take the light.
Oh no, flashlight.
Turn your flashlight toward him and burn the darkness away. You did it.
On that tree, you can probably
Now the darkness no longer protects him, but it's still inside, controlling him. He can't be saved. He's still a threat. He is still your enemy. Here, take the gun.
Oh, it does. You were looking before. So it's kind of hard to aim.
Well, because of my flash.
Yeah. Flashlight has like your reticle, which is weird.
Good. You've done well. Remember what I've taught you.
Thank you, Jesus,
That
for
is
telling
all.
me how
I will
to
give you back your dream now.
I just like to imagine it's like smiling self.
In the nightmare, a terrible darkness was taking over the world. The lighthouse was the last safe
But
place on
as
Earth.
an adult now.
Terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, he's in his like his mid-aughts.
You made me this way, and now I'm gonna
No. Wait, what's the X button? Tap X to reload faster.
It's active reload.
This isn't
Ow! Bitch. Also, I have the urge to click down left 3 to run, but that's not the button.
It's the wrong button. Oh, it's like L or
L.
L1, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just ran from there.
Well,
just
act
like
Except 3 guys that use the exact same. Like a rocket launcher. Fires flares.
it's a flare gun that has a rocket launcher. I'm gonna skip that gun.
It's a flare gun in a universe where light just happens to be the most powerful substance known to man.
I can keep this up forever.
the one that matters that aren't those ones, because those ones don't really.
He's here.
Wait, did I just repeat Dream About Distance twice? Okay.
Shh, baby. Just another nightmare. Everything's fine. You dozed off.
Right.
Look, it's the wife
Anything
that
more
you
than dozed
created.
off would be news for everyone.
Because I keep thinking she's a Sybil.
Cheer up, handsome. We're here.
I'll just call her Mary. So wait for that. Not know what side we go to. Birthplace. The one that we forgot was.
The one that matters. The one that is more important than Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, honestly.
Wait, was it, oh, that is it.
Let's act like we're on vacation. Go stand next to that old gentleman there. I want a shot of you with the town in the background.
Sure. I'll even give you a title for the shot. A city boy, moments before he got eaten by a bear.
I only know about this part because last time he went all around the crater without knowing where
Hi.
to go. But this time he knew.
Hello there. You picked a
She
good
just
time to
said
visit
old
our
man,
town.
and I'm like,
Deerfest is just 2 weeks away.
Deerfest, huh?
Many old men.
Did you hear that, honey?
You have a lovely wife. If you don't mind me saying. I'm Pat Maine, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Alan Wake.
I won't pretend I don't recognize a famous writer such as yourself, Mr. Wake. A pleasure. I'm an avid reader myself. I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but I'm the night host at the local radio station. Any
Okay, for real,
chance I could get an
if you saw
interview?
Stephen King
Look,
just
Mr.
walking
Maine,
around now,
I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the
If I
two
did
of us.
recognize him, I'd be
I'm
like,
sure you understand.
I'd be like, what's
Fair
all
enough.
that weird
You can
sewer
trust me to be discreet.
gangbang
Not a hard man to track down if you change your mind, though.
the books.
I hope you two have a lovely holiday.
And then you just ask him about the child orgies.
Yeah, yeah.
In the books.
That. Well, yeah, that's the part. Of the
Yeah,
series.
okay.
Either that or like the weird like leper
Every time I have the book,
Uh-huh.
just like right over there.
And you have like
And I just look at it.
you have a what is it, a fucking post-it note on that page.
No.
And you just have written on it, never forget.
No.
Very nice. I got a couple of really good ones.
Oh.
And I see you made a friend. That's cute.
Right.
God, a fucking voice actor.
Well, the cameras.
Yeah?
Hey, bestseller, how's my favorite writer? Are you there yet?
Barry. Yeah. We just got here.
Are the locals giving you trouble? Just say the word and I'll hop on a plane and come make sure that you're left alone, Al.
No, Barry, we're fine.
Great, great. Just want to make sure you can relax
And a red
charge. So, how is the place? Has it gotten your creative juices
I mean, if you
flowing?
think
Barry,
about it, there's
we're
two
just
guns
settling
right
in.
here.
Okay,
Oh,
Al.
we're
I'll call back
no,
later to
there's
make
no
sure you're
sense.
doing okay. And you call me if there's a problem, okay?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
Deer Day.
Just looking out for you, buddy.
Oh,
Talk to you
God.
later.
We never
I
saw
love
that
you too,
before.
Barry.
No.
The deer is like shaking back.
You know he's going to be calling you every 5 minutes.
Maybe it is. 'cause it's,
Barry
like,
is
you know,
Barry.
very
I can
very
always
slow.
turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
I mean,
Look at those guys in the left. there.
Text message from Barry.
No, oh, it's the
He
same
says hi to you
guys.
too.
It's just copy and paste.
Alan,
They're,
we're
like,
here.
almost
Come on,
T-posing
let's get
in
back to the
second,
car.
They don't even have the... What the... That looks so bad. And the 360 era, they really knew what they were doing.
We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us. I'll go fill her up while you get the key. I'll pick you up here in, say, 15 minutes.
Sure.
Alan, thank you for coming here with me.
I love you too. Go on. I'll promise to behave.
That's not what you said.
What's the wife's name again?
I'd forgotten there were still places like this.
I just called
Towns where everybody knew everybody.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake. Alan Wake. Oh, God,
what? I am your biggest fan. I know people say that all the time, but I really am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose, I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl?
The closest person that I
Of
met
course,
that was
Mr.
famous
Wake.
was probably,
He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe it. I've got all your books. I got the cutout from the bookstore when
No,
they took it out of the window.
It was hilarious because
And you keep it
I
here.
was with
Well,
a friend
okay.
who was trying
Good
to
for you.
like start off his show with Jay Lando on like
Do me a
Netflix or, like,
favor,
Disney Plus or
Sonny.
something.
I could really use a tune right
Oh, yeah,
now.
Coconut.
Coconut, number
met
6
him
in
at
the
a diner.
jukebox.
And
I'd do it myself, but
he had
both
a,
of my legs
Indian friend
have gone to
sitting there.
sleep.
And so
Bad
he knew my
circulation.
friend, so he was,
Yeah,
he
are
knew that
you
my friend was,
serious?
like, trying to
Coconut
get
again?
But he
You
looked at me and he was
disgust
like,
me.
all right, what are you
Call
trying
yourself
to
a
do?
rocker.
And I was like, I'm trying to be a
Unbelievable.
cameraman, and
Ah,
he just
now
goes,
that's what
"So,
I'm
like,
talking
one of the
about,
most
yes.
jobs ever." And I'm like,
You're
the
like,
fuck,
This
you
is
work
it.
in the
I've
industry,
died and gone to
and you
hell.
call the camera crew the most useless.
you should have just been like, geez, you use that material when you go live? Like, it's terrible.
Don't go in
And
there,
Jay
gentlemen.
Leno
You
left
can hurt yourself
before
in
he
the
could
dark.
get his,
I didn't want to wait.
gift that
I
my
wanted to
friend gave
find
him,
Stuckey, to
because
get the key
my
and get
friend
out as
gave
soon as
him
possible.
a,
The waitress was giving me a
you know
headache.
his like iconic,
Overeager fans always did.
jeans, Levy jackets and stuff that he likes to wear.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know who Jay Leno is. This whole conversation,
Hello?
I thought you were talking about Jared Leto.
No.
Mr. Stuckey?
Jay Leno is the night
the night
host,
show host,
talk host.
Carl couldn't make it.
He
Unfortunately,
was
he was
also
taken
the-
ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
wish you a good
that's
stay in my
probably the
cabin.
closest famous
I'll come by
person I
later to
met,
check how
unless
you've
you
settled
count.
in.
I actually
And
met
to meet
Jeff
your wife.
from Mother's Basement.
I insist.
I thought you were gonna say from.
Thanks.
I was gonna be like, oh wow, someone famous.
I would be really happy if I met him. To be honest, I think he's a cool guy.
Go to
Cauldron Lake is a special place. Very
He
inspiring.
wants to go to Texas though.
You got lucky this time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark. This really ought to be fixed. And then I must remind Sarah to change the lights at the station. It's been too long already.
That's foreshadowing. And it's, you know, it's a pun. It's shadows.
Shadows.
Even that
Shadows.
sounds better than your
What is
singing.
Are you alright?
I mean,
The Andersons, they're local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
A 100-hour TP.
Bye, Mr. Wake.
Like a 10-hour horror survival
Mission
game?
accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in
As your
case.
stand.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake!
Wait.
Your keys!
Jake Al's incorrect, right? That's the mirror guy. I guess mirror refracts.
That diner was a real nut house.
Yeah, I get the reference.
Can you believe this place? This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home. Okay?
Okay. We can talk about this later.
Batman here on PBFF.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years. Not since my last book.
Don't look at the mountains.
And now the weather. It's gonna be a clear night, so
It's
you
really
folks in
nice,
the big city might want to look up every once in a while and see those stars winking down at you. It gets pretty dark out here, but they'll let you.
Breaking on Discord.
Yeah,
And we never finished the conversation about why the fuck would you go
Wow.
to the middle of the
It's
cabin
gorgeous, Alan.
like this?
It's something,
when
all
you're
right.
afraid of the dark.
Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the
Because
flashlight.
it's a
I
neat
know.
game,
I'm okay.
And
Alice had a phobia, the fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were inside with the lights on before sunset.
Interesting or unique setting. The setting can't be in Sweden and during like the 16-hour days or whatever. Where it's
don't bring Midsona into this yet.
Yeah, I mean it's a little.
I smashed Gage.
Are you picking the lock? What?
It's dark in there. We need lights. Can you figure out how to get the power on, honey?
It looks like one of those Lego studs.
If you don't have the camera on it, you can't even see the keyhole. I'm surprised that you can actually see the keyhole when you have the
Hello?
light on it.
Anyone here?
Is that an exercise bike? Like one of those stationary?
The power cable goes to that shed over there.
Similar things.
Oh, gotta turn on the power.
Did you know horses go faster if you make like the pedal motions with your foot as you ride them? That's a true fact.
I don't believe that.
Well, it's kind of similar. I'm sure, since we're talking about, that horses...
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
Like 10 or 12 cats together.
Where do you get this reference from? I'm pretty sure I heard this from The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The lights are on. Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
The island had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work.
Well, unfortunately, you're a writer who hasn't written anything in 2 years, so I don't think anyone will.
I thought we could be happy here.
No.
Hey, it's just a book, you gotta write them. Well, I think that's probably the most terrifying job ever is writing, because like, no matter how successful you were, you'll probably get to that point where you have like writer's block.
And that just
sounds like, yeah, and literally everyone around you, like your editor, and like everyone's like, hey, write a new book yet? Or, that's just like topic of conversation forever.
Alice? Honey?
I feel like that's a very common thing for like creators overall, because like the same thing can apply to like directors.
The old door had played a trick on me. Alice wouldn't have come out in the dark.
The Deerfest how consistent you are in the sense of being successful.
One on the ferry. A famous artist.
And like how many good books you wrote.
Into an interview later on. Now let's
like
go
Stephen
to
King
the
just wrote
phone.
like 10 million books.
We only know like 3.
Well, hello, Rose.
There's
I know who that famous
Carrie,
artist was. It was Alan
Cell,
Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
Rose,
I just saw him at the diner. Oh,
Pet Cemetery.
I am so excited he's
Did you see
here.
Pet Cemetery?
I'm sure he's glad to be here
No,
too. Well, folks, I guess the secret's
one of my
out.
friends
This is
wanted
Pat
to,
May,
and I just kept asking why.
Why? Wow.
Great. So much for keeping a low
Pet
profile.
Cemetery. All I know is that it has the same plot as Until Dawn.
No.
I don't know if you it clicked for Elaine very quickly. And by the same plot, I mean it has one thing that is kind of similar that's not even really in it. It's just kind of hinted at, sort of. It's weird.
Alan, I'm upstairs.
But the remake
I have a
takes
surprise
different
for
turn,
you.
and it's I don't know if it's very good, but I like the Pet Cemetery cover, I guess.
Well, hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
I still love this
Okay.
cop out they do.
Look at those doors. What the fuck
Surprise!
is
Alice?
Wait, what? I was
What is
looking at
this?
the typewriter.
I guess I have a small confession to make.
I was looking
I
at the
thought
thing on
maybe
the
you could
wall.
write here that a change of scenery would get you past.
Damn it, Alice, everyone
Hey,
keeps...
hey, just hear me
Alice is
out.
like,
There's a local
I
doctor,
thought
Dr.
I
Hartman.
was
I read a
gonna
book of his. He
make
has a
you think
private
that we were
clinic
gonna have
here.
sex, but
He
actually,
specializes in
here's a
helping
typewriter.
artists.
So now you want to get me committed?
No,
I spent all
it's
my
not
money
like
on
that.
this
That's not.
looking typewriter
Alan?
instead of going to the
Alan?
Don't, just don't. I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice.
Or what if it was condoms were right by the
damn it.
typewriter?
I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through.
Typewriter.
I thought you were saying, like, while he's writing, she's just sitting there, like, laying, like, posing.
Draw
And
me like one of your friends.
Every time he writes a page, she, like, does, like, a little sensual dance or, like, takes off a piece of clothing.
Damn it.
Like a reward system.
Yes, like, that's what it is.
I mean, that's one
Alice?
way around the writer's block, I guess.
Alice!
Alice! It's kind of a dick move to be like angry at your
cabin
wife
had gone
and then
dark.
just go,
All the
"Alright,
lights
I'm gonna
were
go
out.
outside because she's afraid of the dark.
Yeah, like, literally just, hey, I know that she was a terrible
Alice,
idea.
I'm coming!
What the hell?
What if, like, as Alan Wake, you could, like, summon demons, like, be, you know?
Alice? Alice?
Someone's, like, the crow guy.
From Bioshock, to shoot up the crows from your
Oh no!
Yeah, good dive head first into the water.
That should
Freezing
be,
water.
an Alan
Keep going. Wake up.
He, like,
Alice?
gains the power of the darkness, and then just turns into the darkness games.
Oh, did it?
Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
The first game, like, I think came out, like, pretty soon after launch, or it was either a launch title or it was just one of my first.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
The guy's smug face on this book. Ugh, he punches the book.
No, he just chucks the book or like burns theirs and shit.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
It has like that dramatic shot of like the book landing by the riverside and it just gets destroyed.
Damn.
Well, looks like my car insurance will cover that.
The book has been destroyed. My work is done here. Blows up.
What if the book just survives and it comes back?
Is it gonna be like a grimoire?
Yeah,
Hello?
that's what I was going for.
And then Alan Wake will call it a little bitch or whatever.
Hello?
It's like, well,
Someone there?
She's like, hey, you little bitch.
Alright. Oh, this is when we find
The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
It's like, huh?
Not going to lie, that sounds more like a
Can
short
we
story.
read the page?
Oh, this is when
yeah, 'cause-
Eric rage quit.
Well, yeah, because this literally caused it to like we couldn't even read
Departure
the pages
by Alan
without it
Wake.
ruining. This is pretty much it.
Departure.
Yeah, it just said that.
Oh, I can't turn pages. I have to go
Yeah,
back.
it's just one.
The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
Yeah, he literally reads it. Oh god, that audio is interesting. So it's not normally this quiet?
No.
Okay.
I'll try and troubleshoot it.
Anybody there?
I
Please!
wonder if
I've been in an accident!
in order to split the audio, like it makes it sound less
That
loud.
might be a possibility. Give me
Wait.
1 second.
Can we turn up the sound on your TV?
If that's the solution, I'm gonna lose it.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
There's so many audio inputs from everything.
That's actually hilarious though, because it's coming through your controller, coming through your PC, coming through the TV. Wait, try the manuscript again?
Yeah.
That way we can, like, turn it up as we're listening to
The
it.
man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us.
Oh, no, it's
but
not
the axe he
shaking at
lifted
all.
was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim.
There's
He grinned
audio
madly.
happening, it's
The
not-
sha-
Oh, well. You know, that's fine. We just
I mean, we just gotta be quiet when we do that, so I don't miss anything.
I don't think you can hear
No, I can hear. It was better now.
Oh.
I think what happened was I started talking before it happened, and I just kept hearing my voice because mine was louder than the audio on that. Alright, let's climb over this tree.
Okay, this is like about where we were.
Yeah, we were past
This is all new territory.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
I've been in an accident.
Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help. Listen,
Deposit.
I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in Nightfall.
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square.
Sounds like a normal.
Where?
I was good to see if he was fine.
Wait, is that plastic man? I don't think I've ever seen those in video games before. It looks bad, like it doesn't look right, but that's Superman.
What is it doing in a wood yard too? Like, what's the purpose? Oh no!
The barrel!
Oh, it's like vibrating. Oh, thermostat!
Oh, maybe you actually hit it. Since this is kind of a physics-based game, it has physics. It won't move.
Okay, read that.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter.
What if the plot twist of this is he's living in his own book? This effect is terrifying. It's like super
To arrive.
effect kind
Lose.
I don't care about your deposit.
It's the latest
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stuckey would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
Look, the reference. It's The Shining.
Here's Johnny. If only he's. Did you see that ad promotional?
What?
The light is powered by the battery, the Energizer battery.
Yeah, this game has a lot of that. I don't think the car was a real brand, but it
yeah,
might have been.
I should check the cars.
During your
Well, I mean, there's that car commercial, so.
it's the latest
Yes.
in
Bright Falls Sheriff Station.
Woven.
Hello?
Just in front of you.
One.
This is bad.
Oh my god!
So wait. So he ran into it, and then
just kept going.
No. The thing. Oh no, it is down.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just kept going with it.
Because like I didn't even see it. Like when you left, like he had already fallen down, and the house just kept going. Or that was weird.
Oh yeah. No, I just assumed he drove off the shit.
Oh, you have to light a fight.
Oh yeah.
So the guy left, the right one has like an effect on him because like the darkness. What's this? Okay, they're motion.
Wait, if I'm I got healed. Okay, this combat I am not used to. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
There were more of them.
Yeah. I keep thinking X is the jump button.
My head pounded with a concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something.
Yeah, but when
there
I
were
see
no bodies.
X, I think of
they just
X on
disappeared.
there.
If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
/A. Could you name a single game that reloads with that button?
I will find one to point out. Also, that's a cool effect of.
See, I think you can also just aim the gun with the right stick. You don't have to hit the left trigger. So I think you just shoot. So that's good to do because it uses your battery. So unless they're like close to you, there's no reason to really shine them, basically.
And I just use this cheese. Oh.
Yeah, just kick it. Did it. Nice.
Oh,
the dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
It was over here.
Yeah, I think that was from the switch press to like follow that. Yeah.
Oh, it's.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
It's the Illuminati. That's the positive faction in this game, yeah.
I got the flare gun. Okay, that's gonna help a lot.
Got one bullet. Use it wisely.
No, I'm gonna fuck it up
You're
so
gonna
badly.
you're gonna like jump and then shoot it and then shoot it in the air.
You mean 360 no scope? I can do that.
And then it'll unlock a secret ending where the police find you.
It's rabbit season.
No! When you pick up a gun, it automatically equips to that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty funny, to be honest.
Oh, that was such a delayed response to
good.
both of us.
I like that.
Okay, what's
there?
over
You
here?
think there's more stuff over there? A little shiny.
Oh, another manuscript.
Yeah. What do you think when we find the 8 pages, Slenderman will show up?
You mean before we find the 8 pages?
Oh, well, I mean, he does it after, too.
The Taken stood before me.
No, it's...
Wait. It's...
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's not in order.
Rose knew she had been gushing, but right now, she didn't care.
Gushing.
As far as she was concerned, her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high point of her life. She watched as he got in the car with his wife. She was pretty, confident, at ease with Wake. Not like Rose. They were perfect for each other. She'd have given anything to be called her friend.
Her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high point of her life. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So that's talking about the dining lady. So that's what's happening. Yeah. So he's in his own book and it's happening. That's funny though how it was literally the high point of her life.
I thought they were going to do a dramatic build up to that, but no. We already. Oh, ow. We just automatically assumed that. Oh, it's going to be one of those games.
What the hell was that?
Kind of like those cut-in spooks that have nothing to do with what's currently happening. Those are my favorite.
It's foreshadowing.
When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
That's game design right there.
See, I hate when they gotta be like, okay, this is such a clever idea, we don't want to miss it, but it defeats the purpose.
That's like a big thing.
Thermostat!
Like, games nowadays, like, we're not gonna spend 10 hours making something that you might miss.
Well, I mean, you can do simple stuff like in Silent Hill 3. If you find a book talking about how somebody fell onto the tracks, if you go to that same platform, a ghost will come out of nowhere, push you onto the tracks, and you gotta react quickly enough.
So they happen to be.
Yes. No, I discovered it by accident, and I looked into it later.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah.
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
Yeah. Oh, everyone keeps talking about the katana, and I'm so excited to find it.
Oh, yeah.
Is one of the enemies going to be that rapid? Because I really want yeah. I am trying to. Yeah, it does all of it. Okay, there's all of you. There is faulting, okay. Okay. Oh. Here we go. No, this is the hidden. Use L to climb.
How do you feel? How do you like your ladders? Do you like press on a button just once and it climbs up automatically? Do you like moving the left stick to move it up and down?
I like going up and down. I'm on the in between when it comes to like pressing the button to hook onto the ladder, and then like it depends on the game for me.
Okay, that was like that was the whole reason I brought this up, so I can talk about the absolute worst ladder, which is the Half-Life one, where you just press forward on it, and if you look up, you go up.
I hate that so much. I just rather go to the ladder, and then oh no, okay, I have to use the L. See, I like it both ways. I like it this, and then I like the one where you just press it and it automatically does it for you.
Okay, but does the game have to include, like, sliding down the ladder?
Yes, if you're going down. Going up doesn't matter too much.
There's some game I've been recently, I don't remember what it was, but, like, instead of, like, climbing up the ladder normally, you jump up it.
Assassin's Creed?
No.
Because
the staircase was broken. I had to make my way up some other way.
Like flinging yourself up like a couple more feet. It's weird.
Every time ladders is brought up, I'm just remembering that Bloodborne one where you can go down really fast, but it's the guy wearing the helmet, so it just goes clunk, 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 clunk all the way down.
Oh, it makes noises.
Like it was like Dark Souls or something like that.
That's neat. There's a character who sells.
There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging site.
I think we only made it to like the Lost Bastille or something. I think we finished the 3 Sentinels there. I don't know how much of that you remember, but
I don't remember much, to be honest. Oh my god, that's a shady-looking bin.
But there's a character who sells you ladders, and he like sets different amounts that you can pay, and one of the amounts is for like. Just slide
gonna have a difficult time when it's more than
I can tell.
Two at a time.
If only had some kind of flair for this part, that would be useful, huh?
There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging site.
Okay, that's just... I wonder if that does light too.
Well, I think there was a light bulb, so... As Alan Wake, your most powerful thing that you can do is...
No, it's generators. Oh, shit. It's been a hot minute.
It's the hardest minigame of all time. Press A.
I mean, don't forget, I've been playing Silent Hill lately, so like the aim is tank control, and then you stand here, you press A button, or X is, it's like the Resident Evil style. So. I'm not good with running around and then attacking.
I heard them before I saw them, swooping down from the sky and screeching as they came. I spun around just as the cloud was upon me. For an instant, I stared into 100 dead eyes, black pearls glittering in the darkness. I raised the flashlight and the swarm exploded like fireworks. Feathers burned, turned into ash. I couldn't hear my scream above theirs.
You just got hit by a couple birds. That's what actually happened.
And then you just blacked out while you were trying.
Oh, it's just, yep, just here. Oh, that'll be useful.
So never use it unless it's boss fights. That's my logic.
I thought, but I guess, like, your character changes to hold it, right? Does he hold it in one hand?
So...
He sure does. See, that's also,
okay, so yeah, you just do the...
I was gonna say that's also kind of like Evil Dead, you know? Similar.
Well, Evil Dead was more like
I guess I'm talking about...
Oh, like the style shooting and stuff?
No,
not...
like the third Evil Dead, I guess.
Oh. Yeah, the first one, he never goes to chainsaw the paint thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess so.
So that's why I assumed this line was...
When is Alan Wake gonna team up with that girl from the Grindhouse zombie movie?
The one with the machine gun leg.
Yeah.
The most painful thing about that is you're just going to ruin that barrel. Oh, I thought I could. Oh,
physics.
Thermostat. Fuck. Okay. For my coffee. Can I? There we go.
What button were you pushing? Oh, it was just being weird.
Yeah. I think I'm just going too fast, and the game's just like, please spare my life.
Seems like you're just pushing the wrong button. Look at that piece of wood, tripped over it. Physics. Just, it's red. Does it explode?
Oh, what's over here? Oh, that's just
oh, yeah, there's cannons.
I'm not gonna waste my ammo.
Maybe you get an achievement.
Wait, why am I doing it from this side? Alright, close enough. Reload.
What? Why would they put those there?
I don't
You
know.
can't read that. That's like, oh, maybe it's not.
Oh, shotgun.
There you go. Go turn that dial, man.
Well, I
I was just outside for a breath of fresh air, and what a night. I know most of you are probably in your beds by now, but if you're still up and around, take a moment. Step outside for a spell and breathe in deep. The weather is absolutely still. The sky is crystal clear. It's like the forest is quietly breathing along with you. As you listeners know, I'm a night owl, and it's on nights like this I wish I wasn't cooped up in the studio. Makes an old man like me wish I could just roam wild. But here I am, and who'd keep you company all night long if I weren't? It looks like I'm not the only one staying up late. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat, it's Maurice Horton.
Hello, Maurice. What are you up to?
Well, I was just taking Toby on his walkies.
Oh, isn't it beautiful out there?
Who the fuck is Toby?
Man just said
Toby heard something rustling in the undergrowth and took off after it, and I couldn't find it.
Probably a rabbit.
Sure. Toby loves rabbits.
Well, sure.
Anyway, I figured that, if anyone runs into Toby, they could grab him. My number's on his collar.
And Toby's a friendly dog?
Toby loves people. Usually he comes back, but we were pretty far from home, and it sounds like he went pretty wild there.
Oh,
great dog, but it's tough for his own good.
Well, Maurice, it's out there now. Hope Toby comes home soon.
Yeah, thanks.
You have a good night now.
Yeah, it's like right on the critical path. Well, the game is linear, but
I mean, I like the style of that. You ready for that remake and just completely ruined it?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna ruin it, but it's just gonna feel like bare bones.
I honestly wish that they would remake or make another sequel to Outbreak instead, because I think that would be really cool in modern day context.
Resident Evil Outbreak?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At first, I kept finding the pages as if by accident. The book I couldn't remember was either a terrible and true prophecy or an act of creation that had rewritten the world. I began to hunt the pages feverishly, for they held the answer to the mystery. With it, I could save myself. With it, I could save Alice.
So you've never played Outbreak at all before?
Not that I recall.
Or, sorry, have you ever seen it before? Or no?
I mean, if you just start describing it, I'll probably remember it.
The gas station was
But is it
closer now.
Outbreak,
Its light welcoming in the darkness.
Side stories of people working together.
Yeah, so it's there's 8 different characters and it's scenario based. So you can pick any character and special things essentially. So like the first scenario is, and this all takes place in Raccoon City because it's just them trying to escape Raccoon City essentially.
Because Resident Evil 2 remake had some callbacks to
Yeah.
that.
It's like an article about
7, I think, did too.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that it's like old, it's like a little bit more updated, but not really. Ow. Like the first scenario so you have to barricade the door and try to escape. It is, I don't know if it's but it is so there's actually a way to emulate it, but it's a lot more RE basically. Scenarios are just these short levels. It's pretty cool. I mean, you have a working PS2. Maybe someday we'll play it. I guess we can.
Well, I tried to figure out. Oh, what the?
Use a knife. That was like a spawn in.
Well, they did that. Oh my god. Also, what dick move for it saying safe haven? Are you keeping count of how many times I died?
No.
Yes, you did.
Why would I do that?
Okay, we already did that, so you don't need to. I saw what you did.
I don't see anything.
Well, we don't have. You're lucky that we don't have webcam. Well, I do have a webcam, but we were going to try and figure out to set that up.
The gas station was closer now, its light welcoming in the darkness.
Paul makes the best
Belly burster
is best with no contest. Monster Dog is second best. The famous
Monster
is...
I don't know what it is about that. It's amazing.
No, so I walked up, it did that spawn animation. I killed them, and then I stood there listening to you, and they spawned again.
Well, you know.
Because I was looking at this.
There's nothing that can be done. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but the writing is only there when you see it with the flashlight. So it's like literally like special. This is for writing. Yeah. Like, you can't see it when you think about the flashlight. Based off of Hitchhikers in your book, but why do they have sickles and axes other than it's made so that you can't just ignore them because they'll chase you and just keep throwing shit at you? Well, the Hitchhiker was just part of the Dream, like the prequel thing. These are just like lumber guys, you know, like they work in the lumber yard.
Mm-hmm.
They're lumberjacks, I guess, but that's why they have like the. I feel like when you think of a lumberjack, you always think of like the red, like I don't know what you'd call
flannel.
It. Yeah, like the red flannel. Yeah.
I stepped into the gas station's garage. It was dark and quiet. The place was a mess. It looked like someone trashed the place or that there'd been some kind of fight. Light spilled into the room through an open door at the back, and I made my way toward it. Without any warning, I was blinded by a bright light. An old portable TV on the shelf had come alive by itself. Impossibly, I could see myself on the screen, talking like a madman.
That it does that.
Because we haven't got to the station yet.
Yep. Spoilers. Close to that page, like we haven't seen that.
No, it's foreshadowing. It's not spoilers.
I think foreshadowing is not a clever writing trick. It's actually just something.
I mean, isn't that what foreshadowing is? But it's more in like a puzzle concept.
Like the weird example of foreshadowing is like you see like those moments that could happen in the future.
Oh, the tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you like get to that part and you see it, you're like, oh, what's that? Or you go, oh wow, that was a spoiler.
I hate it when it's like, oh, this is when you're about to die. Oh, here we go. What's in here? Okay, guy number 39. Automatically switch.
You learned. I'm disappointed. I really wanted to happen.
No, Eric, I can learn my lessons sometimes.
You should just watch us get it and try it. Just because of
just watch it and try and kill it. Proceed at your own risk.
For some reason, in my head, I was like, is it really that risky? There are just people just, you know, hacking away and stuff. And then I realized that, you know, there's like heavy machinery, trees can fall on you.
Nope.
Flare out of it and then hold it and then reload it into your own flare gun. You fool. Clearly, you know, that was the right option.
Alright, before we pick
Wait,
that
what
up.
is that sign with the sunglasses? Is it just safety goggles?
Yeah, to make sure you're wearing them at all times.
It's just like a guy with shades. Hey, look.
Okay.
Shotgun.
Oh, so if you missed the other shotgun, you would have got that one.
Yeah.
So it's... Oh. Here's the TV.
Science.
It bestows immortality on those who advance it to elevate all of mankind. Newton, Einstein, Sagan, princes among men. But the price for such a legacy is steep indeed. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a quantum suicide. If our lives are already written, it would take a courageous man to change the script. Having called a press conference, Dr. Barclay Colvin is about to demonstrate that very courage.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I am Dr. Barclay Colvin, and I'm glad so many of you could join me here at the Moorcock Institute. Tonight, I'm going to give a practical demonstration of the many worlds interpretation. As you can see, this is a loaded 9mm pistol. It shall be part of a thought experiment. And now, a real experiment, known as a quantum suicide.
Did he say suicide? Is that a real gun?
No, I was
He's
just gonna
kidding, right?
explain it.
Please,
Why?
stay
Why would we just not
no risk. Observe what occurs when I place the weapon against my own forehead. Now, you might think this round is merely a dud. Not so. Observe the flower pot. And yet, I myself cannot be harmed with this gun.
He can't be harmed.
With each pull of the trigger, 2 new realities branch off. One in which the weapon didn't fire, and one where it did. With my machine here, I have ensured that this reality is always the former. I have bestowed upon myself quantum immortality. Under no circumstances can this gun kill me.
So wait. What you're saying is that every time you pull the trigger, in another reality, you die?
Yes, of course, but that's completely trivial. There's an infinite number of things that could happen at any moment, and they always do happen somewhere. The point is, this one thing did not happen here.
You're insane, Colvin.
Insane? Insane?
Hey, was this thing supposed to be plugged in? I stumbled on it.
You fools! Gaze upon quantum immortality.
Poor Dr. Colvin. Felled by his own hubris or the ignorance of the masses. Perhaps he should have left the crate unopened, the decaying atom unobserved. Curiosity often kills the cat.
So I don't
Night Springs.
But I guess I was supposed to stop that from him killing himself, since it was just like a science experiment.
Yeah, because like the original experiment itself was he put a cat in the box with unstable atoms, basically, with that concept. And the
I thought you meant
atoms.
he put the cat in the box with unstable atoms. that's the idea. But yeah, it's like the idea that it, there's a reality in which you observe something in which you don't. And,
Yeah.
I mean, anything. There's just wait. Have you seen Community? You know, I never actually asked you if you'd actually.
I've
watched
seen
it.
a good amount of episodes, but I haven't seen like all of them. I think I'm on like season 2 at this point.
Okay.
Like I told you, I've been watching Scrubs, but I think I'm going to go back to Community when I finish Scrubs.
This amazing episode that you've definitely seen. There's a really famous episode of it. It's called Remedial Chaos Theory. And the concept is that they have their friend group. They're trying to decide who. They're at like a little party together, and they're trying to decide who goes down to get the pizza. So
It's
what?
the burning pizza.
Yeah. And they're just like, well, I guess the main character or whatever takes a die, and he's like, we'll roll 1 through 6, and whoever to my left we roll gets it, gets the pizza. So it goes through every different reality basically, and it's actually really cool. Like they show off a bunch of different cool character things with it. Like different things happen for different reasons based on who left. But yeah, it's a great episode. You'll see. It's amazing.
I'll definitely watch it. What I was gonna say before the video got good, there's this Twitter account that I did not realize how stupid and funny it is. It's called "Does this visual novel mention the Swilgen cat theory?"
I thought that was like an off joke. I didn't realize it was actually there was actually a Twitter account for it, and the answer is yes, all of them.
Yeah.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help. But I couldn't tell her the truth of what I'd faced the previous night. She'd think I was lying or crazy. She'd lock me up, and she wouldn't help me find Alice.
Can you pet the dog? And then it like broke off into like, does this game violate the Geneva Convention? And now we're on. Does
visual novels?
Yeah, does
the cabin on Cauldron Lake? She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell her the truth.
Well, won't help me find my wife. What the heck? But no. So can you pet the dog? So somebody introduced a developer to that, and they later on programmed to pet the dog. I can't remember. Can't remember which game it was. Somebody did that. I don't trust these fucking dogs.
I don't remember.
Changing us!
I know it was recently.
Simple
you want me to
as you might. It can be dangerous. It requires patience.
Ace Combat 7. Can you pet the dog? And it's like, no, the dog is you cannot pet JPEGs.
They did one for the game Valhalla.
Even with the engine takes to cool. Dropping
well, that's how it goes. Yeah, so, one of the so the Twitter account listed, yes, in this does it say, he's taking his voice? There was. Well,
it's gonna be like
achievement.
Stucky's body vanished, leaving behind only a lifetime of nightmares to come. Assuming I'd reached the lights at the gas station alive.
Leaving behind only a nighttime of life, a nighttime of lifemares. That's what I said. Yep.
That is how it's phrased.
Do you have any life mares recently?
Life manners?
Life mares. You know, it's like a nightmare, but you're just like, instead of it being terrible, you're just doing regular things. I just made this up by accident on the fly. I said
Like
the word wrong.
just random dreams about you doing normal things.
Yeah, just like, you know.
Like you have a dream about.
I recognized the
gonna
parade
be the
float I
second
had seen in
boss
Bright Falls when I first arrived with Alice.
Could you imagine?
Well, I know there is driving segments.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting, at least for a moment. The same world reasserted itself.
45, clean up everything.
Okay, you start at 4, right?
Yeah. Because I want to give myself a little bit of time to just grab food.
So what you're saying is you're not coming in to work at Safeway. Okay.
It's 1 o'clock.
You know, maybe you're just running a little late. You know.
I still can't believe they called me twice on that.
That's pretty amazing. You should have like called them back and been like, actually, you know, after the first 2 times, I decided that maybe I should come in. We almost got all the manuscript pages.
For this first part, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back, you know, and do some off-screen grinding to get all of them.
Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling caught his attention.
You'll see in the next chapter.
Stucky looked up and stared as his brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the unrelenting darkness engulfed him.
Spooky. Oh, I'm pretty sure okay. There was supposed to be a mini TV in here, right?
The garage was a mess.
Yeah.
It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
Maybe look around the garage first, just in case it's like the critical path. Oh, I mean like outside.
Yeah.
So there might be stuff. The deer.
The Deer Fest had been 2 weeks away when we arrived. If the day count on the banner was right, I was missing a whole week between the night we got here and now.
Huh. Okay.
Man, daylight saving time's a bitch.
Oh, purpose that.
You just lose a whole week.
Just that's what happens when you dive headfirst into the water. So I have a feeling I'm going to be driving that truck to the next destination after this, because
Really?
my assumption is
I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
The deer. Okay, yeah. So we'll go to the TV then, because I'm pretty sure going in that room will progress things.
Will trigger something. Oh,
All right. I'll keep writing. Outside, there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her. I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost. I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
Nordic walking. Incontestably proven health benefits to walking.
I mean, we got an achievement called Gormit Walking.
Yeah, you killed Stucky or whatever.
Alright, before we do that, let's see if there's
is there
game
any
logic
paid advertisements in here? Oh,
Oh,
God, that's
what is this
weird.
font?
That's super weird. Okay. Yeah, the Deer Fest. Nice.
Pie contest, surprise competitions. What is it?
For the children, Bucktooth Charlie. What does that mean?
Like a mascot, I guess.
Oh,
Don't
I
miss the
guess.
legendary Deer Fest parade.
I guess that probably is what that would be. Look
Oh,
at
you
this
can just
sunset.
read all of that here if you wanted to.
Oh, that is weird. That's
Can
like
you-
when you like pick up like a page and like it's like scrawled writing is supposed to be like a story thing, and then you click another button and it just shows normal text on the same page.
Also, I like how you can read it from here, but it automatically makes your character move to it. Logic.
Well, look at
We
that
sell
sign.
propane and the propane accessories. Yeah, close enough.
Wait. Look at that again.
We sell propane.
No. The $29.95 plus 6 months free.
I want some
rental.
minty stints. I read that as shirt first.
I like belly gum. That sounds good. That's a camera one.
That's actually kind of clever with you just watching a video of yourself.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good.
Fireworks galore. Alright. Here's the map. Can I take map? No. Use phone.
You can't just like pick up.
Great Ball Sheriff Station.
Oh, this place works. So bad compared to the game. It's weird.
The Silent Hill cutscenes look way better than
thank God,
this,
Sheriff.
in the 1999
Sheriff Sarah Breaker. You are...
I'm Alan
Made
Wake,
by
but
one
listen,
guy.
I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake. Not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head.
2 and 3 were motion capture.
Are you
The
okay?
first one was just
Listen,
We'll figure this
rendered
out.
by one
Please
guy
get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay? Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
I realized I couldn't tell her what had happened in the forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
That wasn't sure if that was a call.
This teeth. He just has like upper teeth and that's just a gaping expression.
He's a cabin. It's not like a plate.
Previously on Alan Wake, I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice.
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at. But the cabin had disappeared.
Samurai 2. Do you remember that?
I forgot that was episodic.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like 4 or 5 episodes and it was so bad that they canceled the game and refunded people after the first episode.
The frame rates were so bad from what I seen.
Which is sad, because like, the first game was like okay. That first Samurai is terrible, but you know.
Honey, I'm home.
Back
Coffee.
here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up. Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then.
Nothing like
I'll go put it on.
Look at his face. That looks like Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my god.
Look at his back. What is that? Is that how a computer looks?
Oh no, there's the gun. Blood. Those are blood drops.
Is that the Max Payne cover? Like parts of it?
Kind?
Because it's like the gun with the blood.
Well, I don't think it was red, but it was definitely black and white. Okay. Game objective.
Is your phone
Make
not,
coffee.
Is that phone not plugged into anything right now? In the game?
Wait, what?
The phone. Is that plugged in? Important? No. It's not plugged in.
No.
Of course. Oh,
Okay, this is-
wireless telly. Look, there's Max Payne's guns.
No, but look, there's a QR code to see. You did see.
No, I was looking at the guns. That's amazing. Dude, I feel like that's the ultimate prank, though, is just hang up a QR code, like, in your house.
Okay, fuck it. You know, just like right above my TV, I'll just get a fucking QR code. And
Or
it's just
like-
like a picture of me.
Where you just paint, like, a giant QR code on the side of the building. Look, that is Max Payne, kind of. It's not really, but...
The blood drop kind of looks like.
I
It
think-
definitely gives that concept. Also, did I get a manuscript?
Yes.
Okay, so we did miss one from the...
Yeah.
Time to do some grinding
It
off
was
stream.
the most
It's
special
true
one.
what they say about the
Oh,
fall
wait, no, go back,
and
go
the
back.
sudden stop.
It actually said, find this page in nightmare difficulty mode, so we can't get that page.
That's a little
Hidden
annoying.
story content.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
I know there's something in this game that's in reference to Max Payne. It might be this.
This
book
was a
right here.
late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain.
I think this is
My
Ellen's
blood
voice
painted
actor,
the
sorry.
snow red,
Payne's voice
a
actor.
gruesome slushy, dissolved all the scattered painkillers
We're
and
talking
leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city,
It is, right?
becoming one with it. I can see them now.
Well, sorry.
My
They're
wife
not
and
directly
my
connected
baby.
because Remedy doesn't
Honey,
own
I'm
Max Payne,
home.
the
They-
character.
Because Rockstar does, but
yeah.
Because Control reference Max Payne and Quantum Break, right?
Yeah.
So is that gonna be our next LP after this? Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. Maybe. I'd rather do Control. Did you play Control?
No.
Control's cool.
I want to get for sure. Hopefully it runs on my PC.
Yeah, they can't refer to him as Max Payne because I don't think they own the likeness of the character. So his name is just
Max Payne.
No, his name is full
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather. We're now on the third day of the blizzard, and the weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
those windows. Amazing. So, if you see that one in the bottom right there, you see that red part?
Yeah.
That's just flipped on the other side. for that one right next to
But
it.
the upper ones aren't.
Well,
Are
the,
they? No,
the
are
upper
they
one
flipped
is like
and
that
then
one's flipped and then
rotated a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the same one. And then that one has lightning in it. That's weird. Why is that window have lightning in it?
It's a JPEG.
Oh god, the washing machine door is a JPEG too. And it's fucked up too. Look at it. Unless that's how it's supposed to. I guess that is how it's supposed to. It just looks
Like
weird. Like
everything
it's not a full
just
circle.
in here just.
The bars look okay. I hate people who have those like divided
City light.
paintings. I'm looking around your room for my eye,
No,
I see
we
it.
don't. We just mostly have family pictures and.
And that, yeah.
We have Underground Sea.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's Underground Seas.
Yeah, no, that was my graduation gift for high school.
That's cool.
Alright. Oh, we got a TV. Why is it
CC, my favorite TV company.
CC.
Why didn't they just get sponsored by Samsung? They could have done it.
That's too much.
God, he looks so depressed. He looks more depressed than when he was being attacked by axe murderers.
Okay. Coffee.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks.
You'll be able to find
I'll
it.
need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Well, we found one in the light room.
Oh.
But
I'm not watching. I don't know what's happening. I like the
she
door
started
opening.
talking in the.
He just lifts up his hand and it just makes the noise. So you didn't touch the handle. No, it's fine.
Oh, go to Alice. Okay. I can't run.
Why not? Just try harder.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
On occasion. That JPEG still. That QR just still fucks me up.
The QR code looks better than anything else in the game, in the scene.
These look really good.
Well, it has to be
Oh,
perfect
sure,
where it
until
won't
Barry
be-
gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan! Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Does she have like sundowning?
Well,
I'm right here, baby.
I'm fine. Just get the lights back on. Now, please.
okay, wait. If I come here. Oh, okay. I was pressing the wrong one.
Astounding.
I really don't like this,
Honey,
Alan.
it's a power outage.
Right,
I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. I just... It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
Time is always so low between when
I
they
know,
say,
it's stupid, but it's just...
like,
Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know?
it's like
It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story,
Yeah,
writer.
because like a lot of people
Okay.
like to use the word shit.
I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer
Oh, he
boy.
has
You
it.
made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
My kid is afraid of the dark, so here's a clicker. It's an old-fashioned light switch.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that?
I wish it was that.
Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
Flashback.
Nothing's wrong.
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't live without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Bright Falls.
Oh, look at that amazing high-tech computer there. That's
With
like a Dell 1998 or something.
with a candle? I can't tell what that is, if that's a can or not.
When I look at that, it makes me think of like sparkling water.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, it must have been on the table behind you. Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
Do you want to start pressing buttons? What's this do?
Do you want to see?
I believe you'll find the sheriff in her office. Just go down the corridor.
I have LED lights behind the TV. But here's the funny thing. They're like shitty LED lights. It was like $15 on Amazon. And sometimes they'll go off in the middle of the night. So when I have nightmares or like something, it'll just be like flashing red.
Wow.
So it'll be like this, but really fast and red.
Why?
Sure, take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Terrifying.
Very good. I'll come back later on to remind you.
What do you use that for?
It helps me like. It's just better line for the milled night because that light is not bright.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of awkward. How often do you have to change the batteries in that thing?
The light bulb?
No, the fire alarm.
Oh. Yeah, we need a ladder for that kind of shit.
So those are probably 3 guys that you murdered or whatever. You know, whatever. You got taken by the darkness.
I don't know any of these names.
No, it's just Stucky, which I think is that guy, the other guy. It was like you can examine the other one. Oh, he doesn't have a name.
Knack for winning contests. How can I identify?
Is that like a?
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor.
Pause it for once.
Yes.
I think there was a sweepstakes for this game where you win a contest and they put you in the game. And I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Why is there so many weird things about this game?
There's like QR codes. And
That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Okay, there's a radio here.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the parade float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really trashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Alright, well, we'll never hear him again.
It kind of...
I thought it sounded like it, but I don't know. That guy does
Oh,
like a million
thermostat.
voices, right? Did you just steal a thermostat from the police station? Wow.
Yes.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Still in it?
Oh, no, that's the cell area. We don't need that. Nope.
Alice was missing. I needed help to find her. I wasn't ready to leave.
Look at that missing poster. I think there was a cat on that. Looks
Okay. Meter.
You're good to go, Mr. Wake. Sarah's probably waiting for a chance to talk to you.
Probably in there. The sheriff's office.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Oh, thank you.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this.
See the...
No.
Hello?
Alice, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
Is Walter the town drink?
Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen. Listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me,
I wasn't
drunk then.
Well, if he says I wasn't drunk then.
What?
I think he just stumbled.
Oh. I was looking at the green light that's reflecting off the thing.
I told him, oh yeah, well, I don't hear.
Does this TV work?
We're on your feet.
Why do they have a TV in there?
I don't know.
Is that to show the news? Oh yeah, someone put my manuscript page in here. Nice. We're gonna have to lock you up for bad writing.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't, well...
Got to that part
I think
yet.
it's going back to foreshadowing. The other part was like
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Another. I'm just gonna keep saying, ooh, thermostat.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
That is the most booty shit ever.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't shoot your guns.
He's like, I'm so happy we finished our float. I got drunk and I pulled out my gun. Probably should advance, yeah. Oh god. I think this game, there's like no way to...
No.
Should turn it off or something. Or it was in like... No, there's no other settings. Whatever.
No, I think the only game where they like start paying attention to that was when Uncharted came out, because Uncharted had like this level.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
Wait. It says find.
Oh yeah, it's like that.
It looks exactly like a Ford though.
It is weird for like there to be like normal things, like actual ones, and then for them to have paid sponsorships for them, and then for the exact opposite, for them to have parodies of other things.
Okay. Also, I just realized there's a mini map that you can just look at.
Kinda, yeah. It's almost more like a reticle type thing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, no, I guess. Yeah. So you gotta go back out through the thing like you said a while ago. No,
Nope.
I guess you gotta examine the front. Yep. You can just animate it falling over? No. It must explode. The gamers will love it. Anyway.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall in the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Yeah, where's my wife?
My wife. How do
Jason.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Can I just hop the fence from here?
No, he's probably out front. Otherwise, why would that door even open? You know?
Especially when that door is from the cell.
No, I meant like the outside door.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we went out to the front, it's like, no.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it.
The darkness.
It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Oh, that's him writing the book. Okay. Yeah, he's just passed out.
Yes.
There's no way he could have seen that.
That is an astute observation. Yes, he's writing
It's
the book.
the TV smoking.
Yep. That's how TVs work.
Marvelous,
Really good.
Sarah.
You use
I
it
just
when they
wanted to
just
settle
have
all the
this
damage the
glue.
Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent...
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Hey!
Oh my!
Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
I'm pretty sure me punching you in the face tells you...
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I don't know what's scarier, like the fact that, like, when I first.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
The arm.
Oh, like, we
Al,
can't animate both
Who's
at the
Max?
same time. That'd look weird. One and then the other.
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a Swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Bucktooth Charlie.
Oh, it's Bucktooth Charlie. You know. So they just. How is he like an event? Like, do they like take him, or do they just go in here?
Yeah, it just took me into here after.
Well, no. I mean, like, because they said like in the gas station or whatever that Bucktooth Charlie is like an event for the children. Do they like grab?
Oh, that's.
Do they like grab his bones and pretend it's like a dragon and like a Chinatown show? Like, what do they do with that? Also, his one eye is kind of freaky.
Oh.
His gaping maw. I guess.
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? Are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do
and
you
everything's
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
I think nothing describes an agent better than a puff coat with a Hawaiian t-shirt under. That's kind of a great design.
Thermostat.
Honestly.
Steal it from this little market. Oh, what's the food here? Yeah, nothing. I'm still thinking about that one part in Silent Hill 2 where you just find light bulbs in a can.
Can?
Yeah.
Like in like a
Easy there, boy. I'm almost
with a
done.
can opener.
Hey, Rusty, right? You run cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full
Pretty
here.
sure that's Max.
Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes.
Oh, the dog's alive.
Well, at least Max is gonna be
I thought
okay.
he was taxidermy,
Got
the
lucky.
dog.
Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
I know the dog is barely moving and it looks terrifying, but it's still technically, it has
Okay,
more
boy,
movement than
we're
the
almost
dog,
done here.
so.
Yes. How many times are we just gonna mention the Jake Pig dog?
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing, listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Wait, I'm confused. Is his name Al Berry? No, Al is Alan Wake. Okay.
Yeah, he's just calling him
It just
Al
kept
for short.
throwing me off so many times.
Alan's too formal, you know? Gotta shorten it, it's too long.
But why Al? That's terrible.
Alan? You know who else gets called Al?
I'd just rather be called Alan.
I think the only other person I think getting called Al instead of Alan is
like maybe, well, I know Albert would be shortened to Al.
Oh, I just meant like what's his face in Home Improvement? I think it's called Al. There you go, dog.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
And then grab
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
I don't know if you noticed, Lane, but
If you
dog
have any
was in a
trouble
bear
finding
trap.
it, just
The guy's
keep your
pretty
eyes on the
dumb.
radio
Come
mast.
back for
It's
a
right
boss.
below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know, I just don't want any trouble.
Right.
I was like,
Oh, that's what I was thinking too.
That doesn't seem very useful.
No, it's on this. Okay.
On like the other side, or I don't know. I guess it probably is.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills.
Yummy.
Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay. Okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
Uh-huh. Alright, to the car. Will I start driving the car now? Oh,
yeah, you get in the car and then it turns into open. You're like, oh.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
What's the cavalry?
Sure. Yeah, just a figure of speech. Dude.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Virus.
Bless you.
Wait.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me.
The lamp was put
I'll bet
back
there's
up.
mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
15%.
That's.
You want to know where you can shove that flashlight? Where you point that thing, Al?
Fuck you.
Oh, he's sneezing.
One more time.
Stop it, Al! Stop it!
I'm sorry. It's just how I look around. I can't, it's not independent.
Thermal stat. I knew it.
From me looking.
Alright. Nice. Fish. Here.
Do you think that's the same fish? Do you think he got the fish from that guy?
I'm pretty sure they just did another copy and paste.
I have a question about that fish.
Real funny, Al. Real funny. Thank you. I'll just sit here in the dark till you come back. Or until I get eaten by a group.
They're not just
Yeah.
just slotted down on the shelf like that.
I'm pretty sure they just did the copy and paste bullshit.
Yeah, it's like the same. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reusing assets in video games. I mean,
yeah, it's just kind of funny when
that's like saying they can't reuse any of the trees. They all have to be their own individual model trees.
That would be our selling point of this game.
Each tree is its own unique tree. You can't interact with them.
the door now.
You just locked the door.
Yep, sure did.
Oh yeah.
Look at that car. Nice. What brand is that car? Oh my god.
This is definitely
stop to read every manuscript page. Oh, I guess we have to get in the car to progress. So I guess go in the shed. Are we gonna read every single one in order?
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
Poor Barry. Alright. Looks like nothing. Alright. You ready for me to fuck this up?
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Never mind then.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Probably those damn raccoons.
Like those little rackets that they have.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
Oh,
My plan?
Did you see that?
You make it sound a lot more
There's a shadow
organized than
that
I
walked
ever
by.
seem to manage. No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know. Oh, tell me about
That's
it.
why I'm afraid.
No sack race for us older
I had that
gentlemen.
problem when I was playing Prey. When, I don't know
Yes,
if it was just
exactly.
the way I went through the game,
But I'm
like,
going to check out the parade, of
several
course.
events would trigger at
And
the
I'll
same
be
time,
one
and
of
it
the
all
pie
just start stacking
contest
dialogue, and I
judges,
couldn't
too.
understand anything.
Well, that takes a different kind of
It was
constitution.
like when we first played this, and you like just kept
Oh,
walking
yeah,
through the
it's
diner
my
as
kind of
everyone was, like,
exercise.
talking to you.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though. You're the outdoors type. I know
As you
for a
know,
fact
being
you're
a
an avid fisherman.
requires a
That's
lot of,
right.
like,
Matter of
physical
fact,
shape.
just caught a
Definitely
heck of a
don't just go like
largemouth
this, one
bass
fish.
early this morning.
You just sit there.
But you're
and
not
then you
taking
watch
part in the
fish.
fishing contest? No, not
then you
this year.
eat
See,
while you
Pat,
fish, too.
I'm just not that
Yeah, we
competitive
just close
anymore. Now I just like to take my time and
Sit there with your
enjoy
hand out
the
and wait for the
peace of
fish
it.
to go into
It's
your
no
hand.
fun if I need to worry about
Eventually,
what
if you
I'm
wait long
catching,
enough,
you
fish
know?
will come.
Considering your
Yeah, you
track
do,
record, the participants are
From The
probably
Simpsons,
pretty
maybe, where
happy you
Homer
feel
just
that
grabs
way.
a car battery and throws it into
Well, Pat,
lake,
that's kind of you
and
to
it
say.
just kills all the fish instantly.
Is it a car battery? I thought it was the
No.
toxic waste or whatever.
It's like one of those buzzer things that kills flies when they fly to it. That's what it is. Oh.
God.
No, could have just done that. Can I go on the swing?
Probably not. That looks too stupid for you to ride.
Drop hazard.
Jump, 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 jump. Tire moved. Spooky.
Oh, what's happening?
God. That was great. Oh, the light broke. Anyone?
Nope, I don't think so. Wait. Yeah, no, there's.
Why is there no doors?
Why did they park it on the other side?
I just assume there's probably no doors on the model.
Oh. Alright, ready for another kick animation?
Yep. Crows there. That was so bad. Like if they just didn't have put those crows there, that would have been fine. Oh, maybe the crows weren't like supposed to be spawned
Crime
there.
and punishment.
Just randomly spawned.
The cancer cure of civilization.
Time for another episode of Night Springs.
But some crimes are impossible to punish.
How dumb
Especially
is that would have been the
in Night Springs. Tonight's episode: The Man in the Mirror.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took your kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face.
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there.
Concept.
I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. The white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
It's plenty.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
someone who looks like someone who looks like a person but is not them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one I like more. Someone disguised just as someone, or just like two of one person. I guess I like two of one person because I kind of like skin colors.
Yeah. One of my favorite concepts is just a man in a single room, because I feel like you can do so much from there. Like, for example, like the first Saw movie.
Yeah.
It's just two guys in a room trying to figure out what the fuck happened. I like concept like that, but there's not a lot of good written horror stories like that.
Yeah, that's almost more of a...
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped.
In there for hours.
Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
Maybe it's not horror, but I like the setting of just showing a story in a single room.
Well, yeah.
I think horror just pops into my head because of Saw 1 does it, and then Silent Hill 4 does it too.
Well, you're not in... The room isn't the whole game, so...
Yeah, I know, but it
like
has the concept. Well, in Saw, you don't stay in that single room the whole time either.
That's true, it's just like the majority. Or whatever.
I feel like I was supposed to read this one first. Oh, there's
more. It's a long chapter.
Okay.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was.
Poor Rose. Alright, down the road we go.
We're almost there, maybe. We'll probably be able to finish this chapter, right?
We got about 45 minutes, give or take, so yeah.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me! Anybody? Help me! Help!
Turtle step. No, I need my coffee first.
That's something that's like extremely hard to.
Hello?
I'm back here. Hey. There's almost no games reward a sense of urgency.
Mr. Wake?
I mean, I see games do like
Oh, hell.
multiple times,
It happened
but
just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key. Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Had him written about it on it, and he's reading.
Whatever
He's like,
did
what
this
the
couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened. Shh. Good boy.
good boy.
So did we get the page?
It should be in his office.
Oh, okay. That's...
Yeah, because I just picked up the gun.
That's another good, like, horror kind of trope. It's like, seeing the future, but like, these in the back.
Okay.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
Save the dog.
I needed to back up.
Did you, like, press it?
I pressed it.
And
It's
it was,
just
like, trying to open the door. I'm sure this page has all good things on it. This is, like, a cool way to actually play with notes, I guess.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
That had nothing to do with Rusty.
Maybe there's another one in here. What's in here? Batteries. Right, because you keep your batteries by your ammo box.
That's what I do, at least. That's the only, like, I have a drawer that has ammo. Look at that little bear up there. Little sitting bear.
Anyway. You know, I like how...
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid.
Is that the right one?
Let's hope so. Yeah. Rusty,
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way. Felt the broken rib stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
What your future would have been.
It'd probably be really boring. It would probably be. Open it up. I want to see. How much was it?
We got live mail from the studio. Is my eBay order of Silent Hill 4, The Room, with the coolest cover ever.
It looks so stupid.
It's so bad.
It doesn't even come with a memory card.
Yeah.
It's complete. You paid for a complete in box.
Yeah, it was a little. Well, actually, I got under the recommended price. Actually.
There's a little scratch right there. Really.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have a disc resurfacer?
No.
You know, like a $2,000 disc resurfacer or whatever. Apparently, a lot of the time at like libraries and stuff, they actually have disc resurfacers that if you ask them, they'll just let you use them.
Yeah, because they got DVDs that are constantly being used.
I didn't know that they had that, honestly. I learned that from the DS Koopa stream.
Darkness.
Yeah.
What's happening? I'm just
Disney hunting licenses.
Oh no, I'm touching that!
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals.
Okay.
Fishing is only permitted for those prisoners who purchase a park fishing license. Obey. At all times. Rusty, no! Never approach within 100 yards. To bears and wolves, never approach any other wild animal closer than 25 yards. Pets must be released. Never leave your pet. It is all to remove any objects or historical artifacts from the park.
saving it for a boss, but never used it for the
The dog
boss.
is right there. The dog is there. I think he's dead. Did you not see him? He's on the ground. He's literally on the ground outside.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Alright.
You canceled your reload by dodging.
Yeah, I was getting.
You can look at the top right and see how much ammo you have. I think that's what you kept doing before, which is why you started every fight with like no ammo in your gun.
Yeah, and then I just kept Drop hazard. Good to know.
This is a really, actually, like a really nice looking wood like architecture. That looks kind of great.
Especially for like how small they keep talking their town are. But I mean, most of those
What the hell was
towns
that?
focus on.
I saw it from the window. I saw something.
Forget about
like
it,
half
Barry.
of this
It's just
would
me
be
going crazy.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. You're not crazy.
Jeez.
I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow! Be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Someone said one of the pizza guy's lines was to Eddie's lines. I don't remember what the line was, but I remember that he actually said it when I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Also, I like how there's just a six-pack here. Lover's Peak. What's here? Just nothing. Oh, and all the lights are checkpoints too. Energizer. This stream is brought to you by Energizer. For your safety, okay, let's stay over
We should probably have the stream instead of this.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Moonshine Cave. Yeah, it's optional.
I was hoping there'd be a minecart sequence.
I want a flare gun. And then use it immediately for some reason.
Missed the flare.
No.
Alright, let's use the shotgun. So, I think there's a phone number on this. If you want to call it off.
Oh, it's the year.
In case you can't read the sign.
No, I just wanted to see if it showed anything else.
It's a moonshine cave. Seems pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I thought there was something over here. See, kids, this is where they made illegal booze. Nowadays, it's just called meth labs.
Oh, it broke. Oh wait, is that a phone number? That is, right?
Yeah, but it's a 555 number.
Do you want to call it?
Why?
I don't know.
It would actually probably give you the toilets company's name or whatever.
That'd be.
There's a check.
From what I've heard, like 99% of like telephone numbers that you see in video games used to be like hot, like helplines and stuff, and now they're all just like sex hotlines. So it's just funny.
Because Warren Brother has their own phone number that they just put in show movies instead of doing like the default fake number.
I was gonna tell
Nobody
you
in
this,
Bright
but,
Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
So, I was gonna just show you if we ever went back to it. So I don't know if you want to play World 4 again?
Play what?
World 4.
Yeah.
So there's a thing in that. There's an achievement. The achievement is called Out or Woo, and the achievement description is called Juco. Because there's this Juco Hashi song. It's a telephone number. It's like that. So it's actually.
Oh, it tells you more. Okay.
Oh, wow, it's actually different. That's crazy.
Damn. 6 meters tall. Oh shit. Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm learning how to dodge now because it's not quick on this like I thought. It's hold this and then just move like this.
Yeah, I told you this before.
I kept thinking. Yeah. It's really bad. Well, we forgot about the reload system. Oh shit.
So I can be like, yeah, I'm good at the video game.
Oh yeah, since you have Alan Wake now too, right? It's on Game Pass.
Well, unfortunately, I bought it and then it got put on Game Pass like a day later, and I was like, oh.
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason, packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo. Things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more.
Maybe it was that old lady who was like, oh, the darkness.
Alright, just get phone. Why is there so many phones around here? Bear alert. Yes.
Oh my god. Cars that have their interior lights on can't be driven. There is car in this game. Maybe you can finish that.
Oh, I like how it just beat me up and triggers that.
That's good. I think if you go to the left, and I get
Well, what I was going to try and do is run through where that guy spawns because I saw a light there. Okay, I'm out of the shotgun.
Okay. So yeah, just hang a left here. Instead of just don't go anywhere near the right yet. Kill that guy. He'll come out. It's a waiting game, so you can wait.
Yeah, there's a light there. Just camp.
They just disappeared. Well, I guess you win. You can just run past enemies, I guess. Whatever.
I mean, that's how most horror games work.
Weird. Okay. Well, most horror games, you know, you fight things and just run away like that.
Okay, can't go through there. There's. Oh wait. I'm a smart man.
That like is clearly intentional, but that does not look intentional.
No.
Like, it looks terrible.
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a rider to catch, at any cost.
Well, now I have an agent on my ass, apparently.
I guess you murdered all those people.
Okay, I wanted to see if there was anything I missed.
I think. Was there more stuff behind?
Well, there was that trail, but.
Well, this isn't the critical path.
Yeah, this is Little Peaks. May have lost one transcript, but.
Oh yeah, I guess you didn't.
Well, I hate when you're like, I'm not going to go this way, I'm going to go this way because I think this is the wrong path. And then it turns out it's the right path. Also, this game doesn't have a map, which kind of sucks.
Oh, I guess you can. Yeah, it's kind of far away.
No, I thought this was supposed to be a cutscene.
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
Well, how many flares do you just have lying around, though?
You can see them too? Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but...
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, Wake! You better keep up.
Okay, I like this.
What I got for you?
Is to back up.
Lover's Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Wait, what's over here?
You have to give me your gun. It's like, no. He's like, here's a knife.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it.
No, mine. Oh, this is a fight sequence. Yeah, well, yeah, it's flares.
A little longer. Scare them off.
Oh,
Get some light on those bastards. That'll keep them off us. Just a little longer. I almost got it.
I thought he was going to shoot him.
Okay, it's open. Move it a little. Like that, boy? Huh? Yeah, that's right. Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
Be by name. Hey, Lover's Peak. Scarlet Heart.
This is it, Wake. Our last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
Get with the program. Double step. shit.
He's a cake.
You almost shot me. This is why I deserve the gun. Bullshit.
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her
Yeah. Doesn't know how to punch, so he just leans into it. You're like dancing people for gun. So yeah, you go. Press F for gun. He helped you.
You're gonna give me the manuscript or you'll be sorry.
No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here!
He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him.
So the manuscript has magical powers. He knew.
Yes. I mean...
On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light, but something more tangible than that. It was something you could touch and feel. Worse than that, it was something with a mind of its own, something malicious and malign. For her, things changed when they were wrapped in darkness. They turned into something else, something foreign, and nothing was safe or innocent anymore. I'd never really understood what she meant, until now. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
So should we just end it here, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a good stopping point for now. Why do you do this to me?
Anyway.
Alright, I assume I'm saved on the checkpoints.
Yeah, you should be good. It'll just start you back here. Alright. Go ahead. Tap the button.
Menu screen change.
Yeah.
So each chapter has different ones. That's kind of cool.
I suppose so.
Alright, so we'll try and stream this Saturday. We'll discuss about it, but go from there.
Yeah, so that's like a week. I don't know, hopefully you'll have more time that day because I think this game is maybe like 5 chapters long, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll make sure I have like the full day instead of like work or whatever.
It would be cool to get it done on that day, but I don't feel like we made a ton of progress because we had to go through technical stuff, so I guess we'll see how far we make it next time.
Setup will be a lot easier, and also there was a lot of reading and stuff.
Yeah, you keep reading all the manuscripts, which is fair, which is fine.
Right.
I mean, in this game, so.
Yeah, it's a fun game, and QR codes. Alright.